I don't wanna fall for you, oh no. But you make it so hard. Watching you dance all night, baby, it's making me fall hard. Trying to take a deep breath, but I just can't control my lungs. Ooh. Trying to hide my cold sweat, but I just keep on talking in tongues. It's a funny situation that I got myself into. I can't help my own frustration, 'cause I think, yeah, I think I like it. I think I like it. Got nothing to lose, 'cause I think I like it. Tell me if you like me too. How can you move the way you do? It's making me crazy, yeah. You're moving just like you own the room. Make it look easy. I wanna take you away to somewhere we can be by ourselves. I see you looking my way, so maybe it's not all in my head. It's a funny situation that I got myself into. I can't help my own frustration, 'cause I think, yeah, I think I like it. I think I like it. Got nothing to lose, 'cause I think I like it. Tell me if you like me too.
Welcome everybody, you're in tune to the University Esports Finals for Valorant. My name is Bigfoot, I'm joined by Hanno. How's it going there, buddy?
It's going great. I'm so glad to be here in the studio at Confetti. It's a pleasure to finally be here. I missed out a couple of years ago, but here we are casting a best of 5 grand final between Staffordshire and Portsmouth. Two teams that have been, slugging it out throughout these playoff brackets. We've seen quite a bit of Staffordshire, the K-pop team. They've been really good the last couple of weeks. But before we go into the game, I'm just going to run us through how the University Esports Finals have been going, because this is the last day, I think, from in studio. I think there might be some stuff at the weekend. But if I just run us through how this weekend has gone, we started off with Rocket League on day 1. That was won by Roehampton. I know, very good Rocket League University. We also had the Overwatch as well, won by Warwick. Warwick, always one of those unis that you see in most finals. They seem to win a lot of things. We had Women on Binary Valorant on the Tuesday, which was won by Zara and Kittens. We've had Counter-Strike 2, which was won by Podbots. Go Southampton. We had League, also won by Southampton. Go Southampton. With an incredible, there's a clip on Twitter. If you go to the UKI Esports Twitter, you can see it on there. It's really good. There's this whole base race goes down in Game 4. Decides it's really incredible. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen it already. We have then, of course, got the Valorant today. And this should be some Titans clashing here, because we've seen K-pop before, haven't we? We saw them last week, we saw them the week before. Both times, very impressive performance from those players.
Very powerful. I've been following them on and off stream. I've been stalking them through some of their other games where they've been playing in the stages to get to this point, and they're just nothing but dominant, man.
Look at that bracket. Look at this.
Have they lost? They've lost one round at Bristol Bagers here.
Yeah, who were the top seed coming into this whole playoff stage, so they were the favourites. K-pop Superstars upset them, knocked them down to the lower bracket, and Bristol didn't win another map at all. Despite being the favourites, they went out in that lower bracket to Portsmouth. So, potentially might be the only team that can upset Korean Pop Superstars here, as they 2-0'd Bristol, where K-pop Superstars only 2-1 them, right? You could look at it with that angle.
But there is more information not on this bracket that has happened previously. We have seen C9 fall to Bristol at other times, 33 earlier stages, and also more recently they lost 2 games to none.
Yeah, they had their last Saturday. We had an event with sort of the Southern Uni Southlander. Went really, really well in parts for Portsmouth, but they did lose 2-0 to Bristol. So a little bit, hesitant to really call the power levels of these team here. The only one that's been consistent has been these K-pop Superstars the whole way through. They've been dominant, just dropping that one map, as you pointed out. Otherwise, we've had losses from Portsmouth to Bristol, losses from Bristol to Portsmouth. Been a bit hard to judge who this sort of second-ranked team is, but I think it's been proven by Portsmouth, the fact they've made it to this final, that they're the only ones that can really challenge them at this point. And hopefully a best of 5 is the solution. There's going to be a lot of maps for these teams, and we can take a look at some of the players for these teams. I mean, we're very familiar with the K-pop Superstars side, aren't we, Jody? I mean, look at those names: Diamond, Nuka, Zion, Dash, and Zen. Now, you had a couple of choice words about Zion and Zen, how they've been doing the last couple of weeks.
They play really well together. Zion is put down as a one-trick jet player in the Excel file we got with the information, and I've seen the proof of that.
Oh yeah, that is very accurate.
Very, very accurate. Some really, really good synergy with Zen, who often plays Raze, but Zen will also move over to Viper at times. I've seen Zen get some crazy kills. Only 3 letters short of Zekken, and I think maybe you can see a little bit of inspiration there trickling down. Some really, really aggressive raise pushes. Dermot, I've seen get crazy clutches on Cypher with a Sheriff when the opponent's team was on a rifle round as well. There's just been some crazy things I've seen from K-pop Superstars, really looking like a pro team, like a tier 1 team.
They've certainly been dominant, but on the other side, we've got some big names as well. Now, I believe one of these players I'm not sure who exactly it is. It might be Clarity, I'm not 100% sure. But one of them is going to be a sub for the first game. I believe we'll then have Bensky coming back into the team. He's been playing the last 2 weeks. He's been playing throughout the whole season, but I believe he's currently travelling at the moment, so he can't make it back for the first game. But he will probably be in from Game 2, Game 3, depending upon how long it takes, how long Game 1 lasts, because, it could be an absolute rollover. But yeah, recognisable names in there as well. Shad Jr., Aki, Regret, Storms, Clarity. Definitely they've had some excellent games so far to make it to this position, and I saw some of them on LAN on Saturday, and they were playing out of their minds. Weren't able to clinch the win, but very, very impressive roster. So hoping for a clash of titans in this grand final.
Yeah, and it's important to note that Shad, Clarity, and Regret have been playing together for a full 3 years, so they should really have some good synergies.
The chemistry's there, right?
Yeah. And K-pop, they've been together. This current lineup's been together since summer 23. Since then, they have pretty much always been top 8 in University Valorant, so they do have the consistency on their side, but not time on their side as well.
It's a good tenure for them to consistently be hitting those highs, but I believe if they win, this would be their first championship, correct? I think it is.
In the information document, they haven't mentioned a victory. They've mentioned a top 3 and consistent top 8, so I think it would be. And they have also made it to the NSE finals. So they're playing 2 finals in 2 weeks.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on them then to try and get that double. You were talking about it earlier. It'd be nice for either of these teams to be able to try and claim a title like that. But that does remain to be seen. First, they've got to claim a victory here, and I don't believe either of these teams has really got to play best of 5s before, because the top 3 placing, you don't get to play that best of 5. So it's a long ordeal, a best of 5. It can be. You've got to play a bit more maps. You know, in best of 3s, you always get at least 1 ban, and then you're very unlikely to play 2 maps you're uncomfortable with. You're always going to get to pick 1, and then you leave that 3rd one over. In a best of 5, you don't really get that safety net. You have to play the whole way through this best of 5 knowing that you're going to have to play Breeze if you hate it, Split if you hate it. You get 1 ban for yourself, and it's not even weighted, so you don't have that situation where you get a freebie. Like, if you're coming in from the bracket, you're just as worried about the length that this series will go.
Yeah, and for K-pop, their map strengths seem to be like hit and miss. I've seen them do really good on Sunset and be completely. The one of the times I saw them demolished, it was also on Sunset. So it can swing either way. But looks like Sunset is going to be the last map. So
that's the decider.
For it being like the less strong map, and also Icebox maybe, that's a nice way to have the harder maps at the end. You've got the more meta maps at the start: Split, Ascent, and Bind moving forward. Yeah, and I'm really, really big fan of Split, and I have seen K-pop absolutely dominate on there in the match we watched last week. It was 13-5, I think. Yeah,
it was not a very close scoreline. K-pop Superstars, we can see why they picked it first, right? Of course, we will have that up for map 1. Then go on to Ascent, which is another one I think. I don't know if we've seen them on Ascent. You've definitely seen them on Ascent.
I've seen them behind the scenes.
You saw them behind the scenes.
I was stalking them off stream and like trying to get to know these players, and I was following a few different teams, and I ended up following K-pop all the way because they were just dominating everything. So I would choose a team that I thought might make it through to finals. Yeah. And if they got beat, I would follow the other team, and it ended up being K-pop.
And just to quickly touch on Bind, this was the map that we saw them play against Bristol, and they lost this one. Now it was relatively close in the end, but Bristol really did have them over a barrel in that map. So that has been their second pick, their second choice. Obviously, they prefer that seemingly over stuff like Icebox and Sunset, but that is a potential avenue for weakness that Portsmouth may exploit. It remains to be seen, of course. We will have to go. We'll have to see the other 2 maps first, but no matter what, we will need to see 3 maps in this series. So we will be playing Bind, we'll be playing Ascent, we will be playing Split, no matter what the result. And Bind, as their second choice, could be an area for Portsmouth to sort of stick their heel in and edge out a map.
Yeah, K-pop did, after the 13-5, they 13-7'd LGMU on Bind, so it was a little bit less strong for them than Split, but still, that's still quite a steady lead 13-7.
Yeah, I mean, 6-round difference, it doesn't sound like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, from what the context we saw of that game, it was pretty significant. They felt in control. Oftentimes you see this to be fair, in all levels, but especially University Esports, the teams lose that sort of momentum occasionally. Maybe people get a bit confident, people get a little bit cocky in the round, maybe they go for a play that maybe they shouldn't have done. And teams do it at all levels. You see it at T2, you see it in Tier 1, even in VCT Masters and stuff. You see teams, they're clearly in control of the game. They're going for a very, very dominant. You should be predicting a 13-3, 13-4. And then just a couple of rounds go a bit awry, maybe from overconfidence, maybe they're getting too excited about the result. And that's why you end up with these 13-7s. But it definitely didn't feel, from our perspective, like it was a lost game at all.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit before stream about like how many aces is Zen going to get, for example. But I was saying it might not be that many because they don't really like push the bow out and doing silly things. No. They stay composed. So sometimes you might get ace chasing where the whole team's trying to funnel this ace to happen. But that's just not important to K-pop. Every single round is important to them. They focus throughout each round to round basis, and we've seen them come out on top so many times. So a big mountain for C9 to climb, as far as I know. But I do not know C9 team as inside out as I know K-pop. So I might be surprised.
I mean, I think in terms of predictions, if we were to meld our heads together, we're both looking at a K-pop 3-1. I think was what we were talking about earlier. we just have seen so much from them that's been so dominant. Whereas for C9 Village Boys, we haven't got to see as much of them, so maybe they'll surprise us. But definitely looking at K-pop Superstars as favourites for this best of 5. But again, the fact that it's best of 5, Portsmouth have a lot of opportunities to surprise. They've got full 3 maps before they get knocked out, that they can show us something. And there's every chance that they've prepped up on these guys, because the one thing about K-pop is they've been on stream every week, pretty much. So Portsmouth has a lot to watch back in those games, and they can see what K-pop Superstars like to do. As we do see this agent select, and I don't see a single Viper being picked out. I know it's not a super common one on Split, but I do see a lot of teams still picking it. Like I think we had a couple of Omens in there was the agents, which still a strong controller, but I still kind of like to see that Viper on Split. And you can still have the Omen, you can have the double. That's still very common on a lot of maps to play. I pretty much see Viper on almost every map, to be honest, at this point. And then Omen is chucked in there as that additional extra utility. You can use it for fakes, etc. things. Very, very useful, both of them there. But not a Viper in there at all. That's surprising.
No, and I was keeping my eye out just in case one of them hovered at the very least, seeing if they'd unlocked Clove yet. But
no, I don't think it's viable for the tournament. We're really hoping to see them come out in the tournament. Obviously, I don't think it's allowed. Yeah, but really exciting agent that we've was released 2 days ago, and the whole smoking whilst dead is very, very cool. Yeah, there's a lot to be to seen in that agent, but we won't be seeing that today.
So we got just to clarify, we do have K-pop on the attacking side. If you're looking at that at the top there, it is back to front. But we do have Zen here from K-pop making this early push in. I was talking a little bit earlier about Zen's aggression. You can see Zen pushing forward completely solo right now, maybe trying to go for an early 1v1 and get that aggression in, early pick, while the rest of the team is actually playing roughly default around the map with the spike hanging around the B lobby.
We do see the Cypher over towards B. The camera not spotted out by Zen. Of course, that's slightly out of angle. Zion will see that this tripwire is present. A little bit of a tricky one to get rid of, and very, very slow round here. I think Clarity will have just seen the leg of Nuka there, but Nuka going to run back off. Perhaps that is a deliberate play. They're showing the leg, showing a bit of skin, and then backing off. I mean, it sounds wrong, but no, that is what they've done as they actually start to head back, it looks like, towards it. That spike is going round. Jody, I think it's going to be an A end, and there is just this Reyna here. Sheriff in hand, but will they be able to shut down all 4 of these players?
Yeah, so it's actually C9 that have taken the first little bits of chip damage. We do have one player from K-pop with a bit of damage too, actually. Zion moving in extremely aggressively, gets a beautiful headshot on the Clarity, and now sight is theirs. The spike will go down, and C9 going to have to go for the 4v5 retake.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, it's going to be slightly more difficult with the fact that Ryan here, very, very low, taken out by Zion through the smoke. That's what you like to see for K-pop there. As the fight's going on towards sight, Storms has found 2 very quick headshots. The trade has come in from Zen. Somehow the spike isn't already down as Diarmid tries to get that, does manage to get it down on the floor. 2v1, Shad Jr., the last player alive.
Shad in the smoke. I don't think Diarmid knows where Shad is. Now the information is there. Diarmid very low health, and will actually be Zen finishing out. And what was a very slow start exploded in all of about 20 seconds there to take us through to the first round, going over to K-pop Superstars. Yeah,
Portsmouth put up a good fight there. They're losing that first player, and we saw Ryan very, very low towards that screens area. Still walks out, gets instantly tapped through the smoke, but somehow they mount a bit of a comeback. Storms with the double kill, headshots both of them with that Ghost. It's what you like to see, isn't it? Your Judas popping off in the very first round of the game. Hopefully a lot more to come from that. But that's a good sign, I think, for seeing that first round at Portsmouth. They've got a bit more bite than maybe we expected.
Yeah, and speaking of bite, we now have Zen with the Guardian in hand. Big, powerful gun to move forward with. Looks like the focus is going to be on to mid for K-pop as they come into mid from 2 different angles. And Regret's pushed forward, caught the tail end of Diarmid there on the flank. Regret might be getting something with the Sheriff in a second, but actually going to return back to B site. And mid's going to be abandoned. And I think they would have heard that orb there from Regrets. They've got the information that someone just backed out from there. Probably would have heard the camera going up too, so they're going to be playing this a little bit carefully.
I have no idea at this point, though, that they're coming in. Regret is just holding the angle. Misses the shot. That's huge from Zen. That's the entry.
And that's a Ghost versus Sheriff as well. Now the Sheriff will be picked up, and yet again, sight is pretty much free for K-pop Superstars.
That open plant spot is vital here, because that means that with the force by the Spectres and everything that we do see from Korean Pop, they can play slightly longer range and don't need to be as worried about these pistols, these classics getting in sort of right-click range. So a lovely plant spot, good decision from them to choose that location. And C9 Village boys, there's not a lot they can do from here, Jody. I think they're sort of hoping for some exits here, and that's all they're really able to do. They'll probably try and die to this spike if possible to get that extra cash.
We do have a shorty, we do have a classic. I think there actually might be some exits here. That's one, and the shorty's here too, so Zen's going to go down at the shorty there. Shad gets one, and Nuka actually on the other side there. And I think the rest of them are going to get away with it, but that is a little bit of a loss for K-pop on those exits. And yeah.
It's you don't often see it, do you? But when you have lost that pistol round, it's actually way better to die to the spike. Get that extra credit in the inventory, because then you can buy up the Vandals. Oftentimes you see people go, oh, well, I found a Spectre off the guy that pushed CT. That doesn't matter. You can actually get more cash, more value by just dying. It's a bit counterintuitive, but that's how Valorant works. It does, one thing it does do is it means you get these epic moments where people go for retakes, because they either win the round or they die.
Yeah, they want to be close enough to commit suicide.
Exactly. So it makes sense, and it's really, really nice to see. It makes for some epic rounds. But here we see the rifle coming on in, as it's 2 rounds currently to K-pop Superstars, but C9 have got a little bit of an advantage here with the weaponry in hand.
Yeah, and this is what they really need to pivot off. If they get beaten here, it's going to be back foot for the rest of the game. So they need to capitalize on these Vandals. The dog is going to come out, but
full blind.
Ryan is getting pressured so much here. Going to have to back off a little bit, but after the pressure is engaged, they're just going to turn it down a notch. And it looks like we've got 3 players backing off from mid, with only 2 of K-pop hanging around. Zen's going to engage a bit more presence with the boom bot, but Zen and Yuka are going to back off as well, it looks like.
Yeah, very passive stuff from K-pop Superstars here. They are, you know, just taking it slow. Don't want to give anything up too far here, but Zion caught on a very, very late swing by Clarity. Playing a little bit of an off angle there, goes for the swing and finds a very, very important kill. Now, K-pop does not have the map control here to really start to head towards A. They have to try and split B. They've got the Omen smoke still available if they do go for this execute, but yeah, a flex into A would be difficult here, and we've got Shad Jr. in position to shut them down.
Yeah, and Shad's going to try and get a pick here without getting traded, and actually going to back off there, which could be interesting, providing more retake capabilities, but we do have Regret getting one. Storm's getting one. Dash does find one along the way, but Storms is looking good, and the 3rd kill comes in as Dash drops, and C9 get a very important round on the board.
K-pop Superstars not ready to encounter so many players on that site. Regret in a lovely spot towards Heaven, and then all of it comes out from Storms there. Currently 5-1, but with a triple kill there in round 3 to deliver C9 Village boys their very first round of the series, with hopefully many more to come. One thing to note as well, Storms 2 points off an ultimate here. A kill and an orb, or even just a couple of kills, they're already going to have that Razor out, and that can turn rounds on a dime. K-pop got to be wary of that. Flash now.
Storm's feeling confident, actually going to make that early push out of B with the backup as well from Ryan. Clarity's going to get an early kill on a Dash. That is C9, 1 player up already. Zion here trying to find some sort of trade. Little do they know that Regret's just round the corner watching the camera. Dash completely wasted, unfortunately, so that won't be available again until they get 2 kills. Nuka getting pretty deep in mid here, so that is some interesting map control.
By the dog there at all, and that could be a problem. I do see the Portsmouth is being cleared by Ryan. I'm not sure if the dog saw it or if Ryan is just that smart. Did find that player. Regret has found Zion towards his Heaven position, and K-pop Superstars in a pretty... Regret has just walked into that spray. Yeah. Still a 2v4 though, difficult spot to be in.
Ooh. Nice little head peek there from Ryan on the ropes. Now it's just Derma going to make this peek onto Ryan, but will be taken out from the side by the Omen equivalent Shad. And this is what we wanted to see.
Yeah.
We wanted to see a bit more of an even fight coming into this final. Hopefully seeing more than 3 maps and and it's looking so good already. C9 have proven that they can stick up for themselves in a rifle round. And now it's going to be anti-eco, so they'll probably get another, and we'll see C9 ahead.
I mean, despite the fact that I was, my prediction was for K-pop Superstars, I've got to root for my southern universities here. Obviously, I got to meet some of the Portsmouth players at our varsity event that we had. Absolutely loved the lot of them. Really, really lovely team to meet, and they play some really good Valorant, as they're proving here today in the University Esports Grand Final. Ryan smoked off there, and it's a very, very fast B take.
Zion's already up the heaven stairs, pushing into spawn already with the Bucky. The dash activated and going to be not used again. Nuka headshot on a Ryan. Ryan was rushing, thinking the whole team had pushed to B heaven, but Nuka was just hanging around at the bottom of mid there.
Really good audio fake there, where they just make as much noise as possible, leave that lurker out, and you're not thinking, oh, what if there's someone watching behind when you're Ryan there? All you're thinking is, I can't let my teammates on B die alone. Diamond, somehow they're getting a plant and they're finding kills. What a surprise round from K-pop Superstars. They've locked all of C9 Village Boys out of the sight.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be a one-sided round from what we just saw C9 with the Vandals, but it does look like the headshots are going to be okay with the Sheriff for K-pop Superstars, and Zion's going to get the Bucky kill, and now it's all on Clarity. With 73 HP, Vandal is in hand, Zion is low, will get the first kill, will dismiss, not heal, so unfortunately still Sound 33 HP to get the last 2 kills.
Yeah, maybe that's a misclick there. That's, I mean, maybe expecting a reswing, to be fair. There could have been someone from the back of sight go for a swing there. But yeah, the moment the reswing didn't come in, you're thinking, oh, I could have had basically full HP at this point if I just waited half a second. K-pop Superstars, they reclaim the lead. But, I mean, I don't even really know what to say about that round. They had basically nothing in their hands. They had a couple of Sheriffs, one Bucky on Zion, and they make that round work. They know what to do. They go charging up mid. That player from Ropes thought, I have to help my team here, runs on out, gets felled, and then that B site is just, it's so hard to retake when you've got all those players in disgusting positions like the Bucky close in towards heaven. And Zion's got the knives out already. Doesn't need to invest anything else into this round.
I think one of the big things in that last round was Dash with the Sheriff. 3 headshots, 3 bullets, just looking so clean, and that is the pivotal point for Korean Pop Superstars in that last round. And they've gone for a mid push again, but yeah, this time it's not quite as aggressive, but of course they're not doing the eco, so they don't have as much reason to be rushing together. But these knives are hovering towards the drop. 2 players inside B Heaven from C9 as well, so going to be interesting to see which choice they make moving forward. If they move into these 2 players and make that temporary drop. Here comes the showstopper and will be taken out by Ryan, but Zion's going to get the knife headshot on Ryan, but Shad with 2 and Nuka with 1, and now Heaven is clear, but there's bodies everywhere.
Yeah, Portsmouth do have the advantage here. They are a player up at the moment, and Storms, if they held that angle for a second longer, they have it, but Diarmid just gets a perfect timing, and Clarity is smoked off here. If they go through on the right timing again, it's just not working out for C9 Village Boys. All the timings are going against them, and that Cypher Neural Cage will spot out that final player, as they do know exactly where Regret's trying to pop through into this site from, and doesn't look towards heaven.
Does have the location of 1 player. Maybe Dermot with a little bit of an audio cue there, but still, I think Regret is aware that they're pushing on a site with a player on either side. Now hit by the spy cam dart as well. Just going to make this push with the dart inside. Maybe why not just go for it? But what a rough push. Dermot and Nuka just holding it down, holding down 2 angles. There's almost nothing to be done. And yeah, 4-2. 2 more rounds over to K-pop.
Really, really lovely crossfire from them in that 2v1, playing it perfectly. And that's one of those situations where we were talking about it earlier. Teams can get a little bit cocky. They can be a little bit too aggressive in the situations, going for a triple, going for an ace, whatever, in that situation where they're in the 2v1, and then they could throw the round. But not the case from K-pop Superstars. Staffordshire, they are disciplined. And one thing to note here as well is that we're not seeing a lot of pushes or aggressive map control from Portsmouth. They're turtling back on these B&A sites, and they're not going for any space, which allows K-pop to just do this as they find Clarity, walk straight through, does get picked off in heaven, but the response is already through, and K-pop within the first 10 seconds of the round, they have the site, they're planting the spike, and there's 3 players on the rotate.
That is the beauty of Cypher. You can be hid behind an enemy smoke and still get a kill. I love it. But of course, would have got traded out there, and oh, Storms drops as well. Crucial player for the retake is taken down, so it's going to be very, very tricky for C9. Just Ryan and Shad trying to do this retake. Ryan's in heaven, Shad's over by screens, but Dermot's holding down screens. And Dermot's pushing screens, gonna get the kill onto Shad. TP past the door, about to re-peek onto Ryan, but Zen's too fast and gets the headshot already.
Diamond times that perfectly as well, knows that there's going to be players looking potentially to go for a late retake or something, and just decides, I'll count on the time. When it gets a little bit too close for comfort, I'll pop out of screens and catches again another player not looking at him, which is the second round in a row that has happened. But one thing I want to see from C9, I want to see just a little bit of aggression somewhere. They've got to take something, because 2 rounds ago we had K-pop sitting out in middle with pretty much all their players. One was sitting towards B main, but it doesn't matter. They left nobody A at all, and C9 didn't take any space, they didn't get any info. The first thing they hear, there's an explosion on the B site, and all their players are dead.
I think they're ready for a bit of aggression over on A, but they've got both their duelists on A. But the push looks like it's going to be B so far, but there's this B and mid split that they're doing where they try and work out the best entrance into B side. They try and get the information. Are we going to go through Heaven? Are we going to go through B main? They've seen the scout destroyed from Heaven. They know there's at least one player up there.
Another slow round from the K-pop superstars now. Portsmouth have quite a lot of utility available to them in this round. They've got 3 ultimates. Sky Flash goes in. That will give them the information that there are players in this B main. Do they know that it's all 5 of them, though?
Yeah, you're going to see yet another super fast execute here. Zen double satchels onto site. Will take a little tickle. Nuka does get down Ryan. And again, they've just walked onto site. It's just insane. The tempo control is just so flawless, keeping it slow until it needs to be turned up, then turning it up to full pelt. See who's going to come out on top of that blind fight there. It will be Dermot against Shad. Another blind fight as Storms drops. Nuka takes down Clary. Regret gets one back. So it's all on Regret now. Stinger in hand will be finished off by Zen.
6 already, and this is turning out to be a pretty quick game just in terms of how long these rounds are, because K-pop, they're playing it slow for a few seconds and then they're popping on out. They're finding a site and they're just executing. It's so quick and it's so effective that Portsmouth so far have been unable to shut it down. Despite having, as we said last round, 3 ults available, they now have 4 ults available, but unable to use any of them because K-pop is in so quickly and finding these frags within the first 15, 16 seconds of the round.
They do have 2 duelists back over on A. They might be it's 2 duelists versus 2 duelists here on A, so we're going to see a pretty interesting turn of events here as the double satchel is going to come out. The paranoia from the sewers area is going to come through to clear out some of Heaven. A paint shells comes back in defense from C9, but it won't get anything. Zion and Storms trying to hold down like a crossfire here, but meanwhile we do have Zen pushing up to Heaven.
There is that Sky in towards the ropes area, as we saw previously. They're going to break that tripwire, and that will potentially fake out there's something fast going towards B. Look at all these steps being made by Dash here, and the response is starting to come out from C9 as that Sky wants to come out of the smoke, unaware that the actual push might end up being towards A, as Zion has been picked, maybe pushing a little bit early there.
Shad trying to get a kill there, but it will actually be Regret that finishes off Dash. Nuka does manage to trade out Regret. Shad taken down from Heaven as Dermot starts rotating through the map. Zen trying to make their way through to the B site across the map will be stopped. Dermot's going to get the spike down. This is C9's chance. They do have 3 players for this retake. They've got a little bit of information from the boom bot, and now the showstopper's going to come out, but cancelled by Dermot, and now it's a 2v2.
Enemy remaining.
Beautiful shot from Ryan, and just 1 player left alive. That's Diamond, the captain of K-pop Superstars, trying their best, but Clarity will trade their teammate and secure Portsmouth a 3rd round in, well, I mean, what a tight round that was. They burned a lot of their ultimates, and Clarity was on 31 HP. But they do secure a much-needed round. And K-pop Superstars, again, going out for these aggressive plays. It looked like they were trying to go for some kind of fakes there, trying to catch people off, as they did have Zion, I believe, walk out A main the moment they made steps towards B. There wasn't as big of a reaction from Portsmouth as maybe K-pop were expecting. I think what they were trying to do there was just fake that fast B, get the players from A to instantly leave and rotate on over, and then Zion can just take space and they can flex back into A if needed. Obviously Zion died instantly, and that player towards Heaven wasn't able to find much, so didn't really work out for them there. Maybe they just go back to those simpler, faster plays.
There's now 2 judges on the defensive side, so if C9 can choose the right angles to place these judges, they might have a really good advantage should another fast aggression take place. But right now, it looks like all 5 members of K-pop are pointing towards B again. And those judges are on other areas of the map. Regret taken down to 27 HP. You're going to have to back off, but at least this time it will be a 5v5 retake if they do have to give up sight, which they have done. All 5 players of K-pop just swarming onto B. Realize there's no threat, so they're probably aware that they're going to be playing for the retake now. So the spike's going to go down in a bit of cover here. Dermot's going to put that down. Ryan slowly peeking out of heaven, trying to get a bit of information, but hasn't seen too many of the players yet. Will take out the camera. Grenade out. The retake's about to start.
Oh, Zion with a lovely shot to open up and prevent Ryan getting on this retake. Zion finds a second, looking for more as Nuke has found. They're going for a 5-man retake, Jody, but it does not matter.
Wow.
No matter what Portsmouth do here, K-pop have got that site on lock.
And Dermot teleported to sewers, trying to find some kind of flank, but it was all over by the time Dermot got to heaven. C9 Village Boys had been dismantled on their way back into sight.
Yeah, I was going to suggest earlier on that maybe they think about doing this kind of retake thing. You know, then you don't lose those players off the initial push, and you can go for that 5v5 retake play. Maybe you win those duels.
Great
but
idea.
Even that doesn't work. They've just done it there before I had a chance to suggest it, and it's absolutely fallen apart. Within 5 seconds of going for that retake, 2 of their players are dead. Lovely shot, gets away with the dismiss.
Nice. That is what you want to see. That is why C9 have been putting their duelists over on this end, but that's the first time it's really worked out for them. Like, excellent early kill, dismiss getting out of it, Pain Shell to keep it back a little bit longer, but it's not going to stop them. K-pop Superstars are just going to keep moving forward. They've sent the Boom Bob out, they've got a little bit of info there to clear out the first bit, but now Ryan with the classic in hand. Tripwire right there. I don't think you can duck underneath that one, you're going to have to shoot it. Shad on the other side of the smoke. As we see a little bit of a pause in this heavy push.
Zen has correctly found that flank. Maybe Ryan a little bit too quick to break that tripwire and look for the information. We will see that neural theft go out. That will give a lot of information over to Korean Pop Superstars and let them know Vents is completely clear and they can start to run through. They've got to be worried about this Cypher, but it is a 3v1 in this scenario. Shad Jr. has made it towards heaven, but the nade will flush him out, and the push towards B is pretty much unopposed. Just Regret in position.
30 seconds left.
Good shot. Shad's in the... Yeah, gonna...
Oh! Finds it. Very important kill there. As K-pop down to just 2 players. Almost a whiff, but don't worry, Bigfoot, it wasn't one.
Planted.
Yeah, 3 body shots will be enough. Zen not being quite quick enough. The flick was there, but the shots weren't. Nuka actually going to take out Clarity, and no way! It's a 3K, it's a 4K for Nuka, just cleaning up as K-pop Superstars move forward to 8 rounds. They're gonna
He flicks away from the guy's CT and then flicks straight back on the other guy's head. Beautiful stuff from Nuka. 11 and 5 off that 4K there. K-pop Superstar, there's a reason they've got Superstars in the name.
Mate, every single player is a star. We're trying to talk... You can't pick out a champion player from K-pop Superstars. You look at the bottom of the kill feed, we've got Dash. What did Dash do? A free K with a Sheriff against a rifle round.
Basically. Yeah.
Every single player is a superstar.
Double AWP coming out for K-pop Superstars here.
And
they're going to commit to it. Let's see how they use these operators as Zion is going to be peeking towards post here. Spots the side of that player. Goes very... I think they're really trying to search for a kill here. Maybe a little bit too much there. They're 8-3 up. Maybe going for something a little bit too crazy there. But no, Staffordshire down a player now. Portsmouth has a chance to try and close this gap because at the moment there's a 5-round differential. And that's a little too hefty for my liking, especially on the attacking side.
This is the silliest round I've seen from K-pop. They normally hold it down so professionally, but just marching forward past the smoke with an up like that was a little bit silly.
I mean, it's nice shots from Portsmouth, but it does look like Staffordshire just gone a little bit, bit too confident, a little bit loopy there in their decision making. But oh damn it, actually can get around. Oh, that is a sneaky angle. There is someone holding from CT, but if Diamond just wins it. That's the Superstars for you, as that Omen will now be a massive threat. They have no idea if he's pushing into CT, where he's going to be going with that potential teleport that he might have. Obviously, we know he doesn't have it, but they don't.
Now Zen's planted Showstoppers online against this retake as well, so it does look like Zen's going to be hiding in a corner waiting for a chance to pop that Showstopper. Dermot on the front line, going to back off a little bit outside of that smoke. We've got Ryan and Shad about to push in. Here comes the Showstopper. Ryan's going to fall.
Not throwing it yet.
Oh my days. No! And Zen gets 2!
What can you do as your Portsmouth here? Like, everyone is just having nuclear rounds, and Korean Pop Superstars with an excellent 9th round to their name off the back of Zen's double. And every time we talk about another superstar on this team, someone else takes the top of the scoreboard. This round, Zen finding that double puts them up to 12. I think every single person on their team has had a beautiful round so far, and that's tough to compete with, I've got to say. Portsmouth, they've had some impressive showings as well. They've had some early picks. They've been in positions where they should be able to close out those rounds in short form, but it's just not panned out for them, as you see these two players stack on top of each other, and correctly Zen waits and holds that showstopper and drops it at the perfect moment.
Crazy. It's so lucky that it wasn't just luck. Obviously, there was some cohesion and planning on who put the spike down, but to get that showstopper for the final round of the third half just really solidified that 9-3. And now looks like we've got C9 rushing through mid. See if this aggression will pay off for them. It might be where they come back from. Full blind again, but oh my days, Tash is going to get a blind spray down onto Clarity. Ryan get one of his own.
Now, K-pop do have a man advantage, and in this being the second pistol, this is something that Portsmouth really cannot afford to drop. They've got to find a way to pick up this round and give themselves a chance here on Split. Now, this is, of course, Korean Pop Superstars' pick, but when Zion's hitting shots like that, Ryan, mid-air, his head is found. There's two players now. What can Portsmouth do? The answer will be nothing, as Regret and Shad Jr. both fell double digits for Staffordshire.
The IQ of that re-rotate, the minute they peeked over on A Heaven and scared C9 Village Boys off, they sprinted, knives out, back to B. They got to B Heaven first. They just held it down and didn't let them make an inch. I think C9 thought they had a rotation. They thought they had some sort of rotation advantage, but in Heaven, there was not an inch to be taken.
Their executes are perfect, their post plants are perfect, their pistol rounds are perfect, their rotations are perfect. What can't the Superstars do right now?
They can't play the last round of the first half sensibly, but
it's an opener. It's an opener, and that is, of course, the Outlaw. It doesn't really matter what you buy second round. That thing shreds.
Yeah, and I think the Outlaw was designed for players like Zion. You know, I've seen Zion get so many really pivotal kills with the Outlaw moving forward. Oh my days, Zen with the judge. Gonna get two. Shad standing in the middle of a big shell blast and will be finished off by a Spectre, and it is all over yet again. C9 Village Boys have a rifle round coming up, but they are 11-3.
If they do not find this rifle round, they will be going down on map, because there's no chance that K-pop Superstars lose versus a force if it comes to it. So I want to see Portsmouth pull something out here. I want to see them go for a set play, some kind of execute that hopefully K-pop isn't prepared for. Now, luckily for them, they are leaning towards A, and there is just the one player on the site. Now, this is a Cypher, but it doesn't matter. C9 has a raise. They can get past those defenses, and they should be able to get a spike down, as the site is being completely left alone.
Yeah, so I think they are going to get this site, and it'll be a 5v5 retake situation. Storms has taken so much space, is aware that there's one player at the screens, but of course, K-pop just going to regroup the team back together. They're actually in Heaven now, so they're going to be coming from an interesting angle here, pushing Ryan with the dog. Zion does have the Outlaw in hand. If Ryan makes that peek into the Outlaw, might get double shot, but currently pushing back onto site to play with the team, and it's not a bad idea. Oh my days, Zion one shot, easily going to take down Regret. Storm's going to trade out, but Dermot and Zen going to get two more, moving onto site. Zion with the Outlaw yet again as Shad drops. Clarity managed to get one more, but then will be finished off, and K-pop Superstars are going to get the defuse, and they are going to be on match point.
And C9 not going to really have much cash here. This is map 1 looking pretty heavily favoured. 12-3 to K-pop Superstars, and Portsmouth don't really have a response. I like what they tried there. They went for a fast take, they got the site, they got the spike down. Unfortunately for them, they aren't able to get any kills on the entry, because K-pop have completely left that site alone, and they're playing for that retake, and it's something that they also do perfectly, is they go for that retake, and I think they lost one player from memory. You can't really have a situation where you're given the site for free. You've got some util spare because you haven't had to invest as much of it clearing that site. and then you've only found one on the retake. As Zen's just going in! What is this? One found with the judge. There is a player in the corner that didn't clear, but all has gone wrong for K-pop.
I mean, yeah, Zen gets one, but they don't need to lose another two in that. Maybe that should have been a suicide run for Zen. But, you know, I do believe in the power of Dermot to carry a two-player victory forward. But, you know, even if they don't, they've got 8 more rounds to do so. So it's possible. But C9 going to be really happy with that early start, you know, getting those kills in to start out with. Just going to be a matter of where they actually push now. B is completely free. They could have moved into B if they kept moving, but they seem a little bit nervous. Like the one big confident push they had just got shut down. Confidence has been hampered a little bit. It might just be being extra careful. But, you know, this site is theirs. They can take it.
This is Portsmouth's shot really here. If they can find this round and build off of it, there's every chance that we could go to overtime. It would be a huge ask and a massive change in the pace of the game to see them come out with a win in multiple rounds. But K-pop Superstars, they do look as if they are grabbing those rifles and are legging it over to... Oh, they're actually going to go up in heaven. I thought they were just going to go for some kind of a save here. But they may end up going for this. They start to clear out Ryan.
Ryan, unfortunately, just with
the
Outlaw is going to be an easy kill, so it's a 2v3 now. Clarity hiding behind the box will be taken down. Dermot and Nuka marching on a site. Nuka gets one with 10 HP, and it's just 1 kill less left for K-pop Superstars to secure the round. Nuka's going to try and stick, will not get away from it as Shad manages to get 2 crucial kills and takes us a little bit further. Oh my day.
Portsmouth are worrying me here. We cannot see that happen. 4v2. And I'm not sure what was going through Ryan's head. I think he was just going, I have to get a kill here. We can't let them go for this retake. And he just peeks when he doesn't need to. Peeks so early that they're able to flick back onto him, take him out. Then I don't even know how they managed to find that kill onto, I think it was Storms hiding behind the box. Like, none of these kills should have gone K-pop's way, but they find 3 of the 4 necessary, and suddenly Portsmouth again, they carry, I think, 1 rifle out of that round. That is not a lot.
Oh my god, Zen. Will actually get traded out, fortunately, but then so will Storms, and it will be K-pop ahead. Dash now up in heaven. Full health. It's actually Dermot who's been taken down low. Clarity making this push, taking down the dog, pushing into heaven. Dermot not taking any more tickles there. Very close to Dermot, but it will be Dash getting the headshot on Clarity, and C9 Village Boys have 2 players against 4 to continue this comeback.
Regret here. Just a couple of points off that ultimate. There's a potential angle for it, but...
Look where Dermot's got to.
Oh no.
Will be taken down. 4.
Just, again, we've seen all the timings work out for Dermot this game, but in a round where they're trying to actually end the map, it doesn't work out for him as Regret. Just about clears that. Oh, I think he saw him go for the kill. This is big. This is big. Portsmouth potentially have an avenue here back into this game. 30 seconds on the clock. The B site is defended by both of these Staffordshire players, but a whiffed shot from Zion.
Oh no, and they're walking into an operator. They maybe had time to sprint to the other side, but now against Zion, Zion doesn't get that flick. It's all on Ryan. Let's just continue this game. The knives are out, and it'll be Nuka finishing off. Team Ace there for K-pop Superstars as they take the first map, leaving C9 Village Boys trailing behind on only 4 rounds.
It was, of course, Staffordshire's pick there, but 13-4 is quite a commanding lead, to be honest. Not necessarily what I would have expected, but again, it is their map pick. It's definitely, they are the favourites in this tournament, so a really strong showing from them, and all I can hope for is that we see something to clap back straight away from Portsmouth.
Yeah, and if they can get 1, maybe 2 rounds on the board, pushing it through to the last 2 maps, that's going to be where they might have a bit more of a chance.
Icebox and Sunset are avenues that we haven't really seen too much from. We saw a lovely game from Staffordshire and Sunset, but from what you've seen of them outside of that, that's not their usual thing. So if Portsmouth can maybe pick up Ascent, that is their map pick, that's coming up next. If they can pick up that and take us to Icebox, maybe that's the avenue, right, we see for them to take this series.
I wouldn't go as far as say it's like K9's weak point, but it's maybe more of a wild card for them, so there might be more that C9 can actually do moving forward. But Yeah, that's going to be a hard hit to take 13-4 in the first round. And everything they tried to pull out the bag just got turned back in their faces as well.
Almost everything that we saw them do was, knowingly or not, being countered by Staffordshire. When they went for that fast A take, Staffordshire was stacking 4 towards mid, one player playing screens. They can't find a single kill in the entry, the 5v5 retake goes their way. Then they're trying to go fast up towards B, they're playing for these late rounds where they're splitting the map. It's just not working for them at all. Everything they did was being countered, and well played by Staffordshire, definitely there for map 1 to take it. As well, what a performance, right?
Yeah.
From Staffordshire. Hopefully Portsmouth hit back when we do get to Ascent.
And that 5v5 retake you mentioned was a save round, it was a bonus round. So there was a judge in hand, just charging onto site with a judge and just taking it back.
Here we do get to see some of the kills during map 1 as Storms finding this huge triple kill to deliver Portsmouth their first round, one of only 4 that they would get in this map. Dash had that lovely triple kill, and just
this was chaos.
It really was, but somehow there were so many rounds where we saw K-pop superstars in a 2v4 against Portsmouth, and somehow they pulled it off. Rounds that should not have been allowed to slip out of Portsmouth's fingers were delivered almost easily into Staffordshire's hand, and this was beautiful. He flicks away. He flicks it back. It's just so beautiful, and Staffordshire a well-deserved win there on Split. Almost all of these kills just raining in.
Oh, Zen.
Every round's a highlight for Staffs.
Yeah.
That was the one round, I think, where we saw that 4v2 go the favour of Portsmouth, and that is a round where I think the discipline from Portsmouth just needs to be present. I'm not sure whether it's just the map or whether they're just uncomfortable being in this best of 5 in the final, but a bit more discipline out of Portsmouth when we get over to Ascent, and I'm sure they can at least put up a better fight. And maybe it being their pick, we can see them take map 2, but we'll be back with Ascent in a few minutes.
See you soon.